Hey guys, I'm Swemle, chef owner of Morra Pizzeria. Today I'll be showing you how to cook the Margherita pizza. I think a good Margherita pizza is keeping it really clean and simple and a little bit understated. Less is more on the Margherita. Fresh ingredients and the best you can buy. We're gonna add active dry yeast to warm water. You'll see it get bubbly after about 10 minutes. While you have your yeast activating, we're gonna get our stand mixer set up. You'll add your flour and your salt. You're gonna start your stand mixer on slow, give your yeast and water a little stir and slowly add it in. Set a timer for about 10 minutes now. You're looking for a nice smooth texture in your dough, no clumps. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and let the dough rest for an hour. You're letting the dough rest so that the gases can start to build in the dough so you get nice, bubbly, airy crust. After your hour rest, you mix the dough for 1 more minute. You're just trying to bring it back together and make it a little easier to work with. Gently pull your dough out onto a lightly floured work surface. Form the dough back into a nice smooth ball. And now we'll portion this out into 4 equal-sized doughs. When you're making the dough, you want to try to fold it into itself and let some of the dough that hasn't sucked up too much flour stick to itself on the bottom. So you want a nice smooth top to the dough. Once you've made your balls, you're gonna move them over to a lightly oiled baking sheet. Doesn't matter what kind of oil you use here. You'll take your dough and you'll recover it with plastic wrap and let these balls rest for an hour at room temperature. Once you've let your dough balls rest for an hour, you're gonna put them in the fridge overnight. I think that the biggest thing for our sauce is the simplicity. Good quality tomatoes, high acidity. The one important thing to do when you're stretching your dough is make sure that the top side when you're proofing stays the top side when you're baking the pizza. You'll keep the crust nice and smooth, you'll get more character when you bake it. As soon as you flip the dough over and cook it the wrong way, it turns into a kind of a pancake and the air doesn't rise the same because a lot of it has released on the bottom side of the tray. When you're stretching the dough, you'll lightly press the center of the dough, forming a 3/4 inch rim around the outside. Pick it up and you just want to pass the dough from hand to hand. Let it stretch itself. Don't try to pull it. That's when you're going to get holes and thin spots. On a good Margherita, I think every bite is a little bit different. When you're saucing the pizza, you don't want a perfect circle. You want it to touch the crust in a few places. When you're adding the mozzarella to your pizza, less is going to be more. 9 to 12 pieces is about the most you want to put. Any more than that and it's going to be wet and you're not going to be able to cut it or pick it up. Now we're ready to put it in the oven. The reason for having a high temp oven is so that you get a nice crispy outer crust with chew on the inside. You're looking for a nice even browning around the top. You'll cut it and then finish it with olive oil. No 2 bites should be the same. You want to be able to pick each slice up. You don't want it to be floppy. You want textures with a Margherita pizza. Because it's so few ingredients, you have to make sure you're using the best flour, the best mozzarella, the best basil. Everything has to be just right to make it perfect.